You are all doing well, and now in this tutorial I'm going to explain you about looping and ranges. Okay, so I will be using here the keyword for, and the for keyword executes a block of code for each value in a sequence. Okay, so actually how it works is like it works in this pattern. Like, as you can see, this is the pattern, and you use the for keyword with this pattern. Like, this is the initial one, like kind of index, and in the values, so do something with the value with v, so that with the index. Okay, so for each values, like there is a least range of values, and within this range of values you select one of the value of that index and then do something with the value in a loop, right? So this is the pattern how it works. Okay, so the set of values can be a range of integers or string or um, a collection of items, right? So you can loop with collection of items, objects, integer, strings, everything. Okay, so in keyword, as you can see here, indicates that you are stepping through the values, right? And yeah, you can get more examples here, right? Each time through the loop v is given the next element in values. Okay, so so this is the example. So as you can see this is how you declare the range from 1 to 3. And yeah, there are multiple examples here, guys, displaying a range of in a readable format. Yeah, you can also actually iterate over a range in a reverse order, like by using uh, down to the keyword, right? And also you can step using a step keyword. How much? Because the default step is 1, but you can specify this step to whatever custom step that you want to, like 2, 3. The default is 1. Okay, and yeah, this is how you declare a range 1 to 5. Actually 1 to 5, it will have a lower bound, so it includes the lower bound and upper bound, whereas 0 until 5 only includes the lower bound, so it will exclude the upper bound. Okay, you can get the example here. So you see that there is a bound here. This is the range of the bound. Okay, so this is the lower bound and this is the upper bound. So using this double uh, point, so that means this is a range. In this range, using this kind of declaration of range, you will include both the lower bound and upper bound, whereas if you use until, like this one, you will only include, as you can see here, only include the lower bound, you exclude the upper bound. So this is how you declare the range. Okay, and yeah, you can sum with the range, as you can see here, using the operator, the like assignment operator that we discussed before in our previous lecture. And you can loop with different ranges, as I told you, until, down to, in a reverse order, or you can step up like in a custom range, like step 2 or step 3. Like, so each time is stepping forward, like the loop is step forward multiple, like these steps. Okay, the assigned steps, not the default step of 0. So you can also actually for in a character range, like from A to Z, right? You see the output is the entire ABCD character, and the string, the last string, the values int. You can adding into a character, so adding a into a character will produce a different character, right, as a result. uh, okay, so okay, so finally we are pretty much ready. After a brief discussion of the theoretical part, we are pretty much ready to solve the exercise. So let's go and solve the exercise now. So what it says, the first exercise says, is looping and ranges. So using a for loop, create a function that calculates the factorial of its parameter. Okay, factorial, as you know, and factorial is the number multiplied by itself until that range. Okay, so uh, so you have to put L at the end of the numerator or use too long to convert to integer or long. Okay, so now let's solve this exercise. So what we have to do is you have to create a function that calculates the factor and displays it. So result equals to, okay, the first thing is the result, then okay, we have an index that the range is from 1 to n. Okay, so what we have to do is pretty much multiply, right? So what I have to do is result multiply with the number, so actually it's a var because it's mutable, and then finally return the result. I think so. Let's see. Always 0. Why? Yes, actually it starts from 1. Actually not 0, because it starts from 1, sorry. Okay, so now it's perfect. We can check the solution. Let's see if it is working, otherwise we can fix it. Yeah, perfect. So this is the solution for creating the factor of the parameter. So now let's go to the next exercise. What it says is like looping and ranges. So number 2 exercise is using a for loop, create a function that sums up the factorial of the parameter. So we have to sum now up to that all the factorial ranges. So I have to sum up factorials for this much range. Okay, that is 10 different factorials. I have to sum up every factorial. So how can I do that? Is in a similar pattern. Let's see the result. Obviously the result, let's give a long, and then actually I am using this keyword. So for I in the result is for I in the range is from 1 to n, right? So this is the range. What I have to do, I have to sum up everything. So so the result actually yeah, the result has to sum up with the factorial of that number, right? So factorial of that index. Okay, so this is already producing the factorial. So then finally you have to return the result. Okay, I think this is the solution, guys. Let's check it. One should be 1, actually is 2. Why? Because let me check why. Okay, because I know it, because I started with the 0. Already I have assigned the value, so this is correct, guys. Okay, now it's correct. So now let's go to the next exercise. What it says is looping and ranges. For using a for loop, create a function that sums up every even number up to its parameter. So I have to sum every even number up to a parameter. So how do I do that? Similarly, result, so let me put the result is an int, right? So it's a for loop I in 1 to the range is this one, and then what I have to do is I have to sum up every number and return the result. So how do I sum it? Sum is like result has to be summed with the, okay, but for that first I need to check if it is a even number, right? So to check if it's a even number, as I already told you, I have to just check if the number is divisible by 2. If yes, then pretty much we know that it's a even number. Then we sum up the number to sum to a result, the number. Then yeah, this is the number, and then finally I have to return the result, right guys? So let's check if it is a solution. Correct, yeah, so this is the solution. So okay, now this is a little bit difficult part, and you have to display half of the triangle for the argument of 6 function so display following, but in our case we have to show half of triangle number 4. So how do we show the half of the triangle? Okay, so let's analyze it. So actually we have to print this number, right? So obviously we need to print multiple times this number, so obviously we need a loop. For that let's use for I in this the maximum is n, so I is in the range from 1 to this one, so it's also including the lower and upper bounds, right? And then what I have to do is actually I have to print out, right? Print I have to print this symbol, but printing this symbol, if I print the symbol, actually this is little difficult, so but I will just try to solve it step by step. You see, if I print it in this way, that it's printing this number block and it's okay, but I have to print in this order, right? Like we have to print 1 first, then we have to print 2, then we have to print 3, then we have to print 4. How do I do that? Is like pretty much we have to loop. So actually it's like a kind of a matrix, guys. So it's like a matrix. So what we have to do is we have to print first one, that means is in the range of that number, okay. Then after we print that number, we also have to print a new line, that is this one, so that it will start printing the another one, and in the another one it will print other one. So it's in a similar manner, okay. So if you want, we can check the answer. As you can see, this is the answer. You can print multiple, right? So just for the curiosity, you see it's printed 40 times. So this is the beauty of programming, guys. And okay, so now let's check the answer. Obviously it's the answer because this is the output. Okay, so that's the answer correctly, and let's go to the next one. And yeah, so this is one of the tips that I have already included actually. So if you want to put the like create this for example, if you want to create the loop for this number, you just need to do use iter and tab. It will automatically create the template for you, a live template for you for a for loop, for a for expression. So like for C in S, so character in a string, right? So that's it, guys. And if you consider like my tutorials, please consider subscribing me so that I can continue further. Okay, and thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.